Hi everyone, welcome to Wealthy Mindset. My name is Oliver. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a great day like always. And before I begin this video, I want to say know what you own. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you have down days just like today, even though yesterday all signs pointed to the upside, by the way, until we got thrown this curveball this morning where an analyst gave the stock a downgrade from hold to sell. Now, when it's going down, any stock, not just BlackBerry stock, you have to assess as to why it's going down. You have to find the reasoning. And then once you find the reasoning, you need to assess and see if that reasoning is valid or not. Because if it's a valid reason, you could sell and get out in time before it keeps going lower. Or if it's not a valid reason, you could hold, or you could again accumulate, whether again, if it goes to the downside or to the upside regardless. So that's the reason I'm saying that. Now in this video, I'm going to be going through that downgrade analysis so that way I can show you guys why I personally am not worried and I'm still optimistic, because that downgrade analysis still had some silver linings here and there. And then also I'm going to analyze the graph, giving you guys the highs and the lows for trading day February 17th. So I highly encourage you guys to watch the video all the way to the end. I think it's going to be very informative and beneficial. Now a disclaimer, like always, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. Everything I share and say is just my opinion. It's not advice. And I do own shares in BlackBerry. I've been holding for 6 years. Okay, so we're going to start off with a downgrade analysis. And it came this morning, February 16th. It went from hold to sell. And but they did bump up their price target from $8 to $10. So that is a positive. Essentially what they say is they think it's overvalued. They believe that because it was mixed with that short squeeze play, they said it was targeted for short squeeze. So that's a red flag to me, because they're not necessarily aware that from the community, from Wall Street Bets and Reddit and all that stuff, for the most part, everybody was aware that BlackBerry was a value play. It was not a short squeeze play. And the amount of short squeeze positions as of December 30th, 2020 was only 7 to 9%. And it actually decreased as of January 30th, 2021. It's currently standing at 3 to 4%. So it was never a short squeeze play. It was never targeted as a short squeeze play. It was just an undervalued play or a valued stock play. And that was the narrative on Wall Street Bets for the most part, right? So that was a little bit of a red flag to me when it was stated. Now, he does say that BlackBerry seems to be moving in the right direction. The only thing is, though, he needs to see more proof before he could bump up his evaluation even higher. The only issue I have with this is that at $10 a share, because he thinks it's overvalued because of the short squeeze play, so on and so forth, regardless if it was or was not a short squeeze play. The problem I have with the $10 price target that he gave and him saying it's overvalued at the moment and that the real valuation is $10 a share for him is because right now at the close it was $12.21, giving it a market cap of $6.86 billion, right? To give it a price target of $10, that gives it a market cap of $5.36 billion if my calculation is correct. But the reason why I'm saying that's his analysis is not correct is because they're earning $1 billion per year revenue, right? $1 billion per year revenue. If you give that a 7 to 8 times multiple that the CEO of John Chen, CEO of BlackBerry, said that's a fair evaluation, then that makes it a $7 to $8 billion market cap company. Given that, it's already undervalued right now at this stock price, right? But let's just give it a 7 times multiples at $7 billion. Let's be concerned about during the pandemic. During the pandemic, it looks like there's still pretty close to $1 billion revenue per year. But from what I've calculated and everything, let's just say worst case scenario is a low $800 million revenue year over year. But that was during the pandemic. That would give it a market cap of, and I'm giving it a multiple of 7 times multiple. That gives it a market cap of $5.76 billion. His $10 price target is still undervalued during tough times for the company, right? Because he gave it a 5.36. The 7, and by the way, I'm giving it a 7 times multiple, not even an 8 times multiple. 7 times multiple gives it a 5.76. So he's still undervaluing it by $400 million, give or take. That's why I personally think that analysis is not the greatest analysis, but that's just my opinion. And then also at the same time, he is still optimistic. He is saying that the company is doing well, or it seems to be doing well. He just needs to see more proof. So to me, if you were to watch my Jim Cramer video that I posted a while back in terms of hedge funds having narratives and stuff like that and using their resources could potentially be a buying opportunity that's being set up by others potentially. And then what they're going to do is just buy it at the low and then start having the news come out that it's actually doing well and start pumping it up, so on and so forth. Because again, keep in mind, short positions have decreased. So it looks like now people are starting to believe that the company is actually doing well. And potentially now what they're trying to do is just get in at the low prices. Okay, so now for the graph portion. Like I stated earlier, we closed at 1221, February 16th. And we still have this upward trend line intact, so that's good. Upward trend support line dating back from October 2020, back tested here, October, November, December, and then January 2021. And then also we have another support line right here going up to the upside. You can see the points right here, touch points. So touch point right there, touch point right there, touch point right there. Right about here, touch point. That one's not really a touch point. This is a touch point. And then here's a touch point, right? Support and resistance touch points. Now, just to let you guys know what the levels are, if it were to go down, as they go up, the higher the support level gets, like in terms of price target. But ultimately, it's at the $10 price target for the most part. Keeps going up, so on and so forth. These between these lines are days. So this is not a whole entire day right here. And then this one's at roughly at the $9.36, goes up to $9.50, $9.60, so on and so forth, right? So as the days go by, the higher the support level gets. But what happened today, we broke this support level that had this touch point right here, touch point right here, touch points right here. This is not a touch point, this is just a false breakout right here. We broke this support line, that was not a good sign. We had this support line, you can see these touch points right here. Where is it? Touch point right here, touch point right here, touch point right there. We almost tried to bounce up to the upside with it, but we broke through that support too. The reason why I don't think tomorrow is going to be a good day is because, like, again, you have three options what's going to happen. Obviously, go to the upside or consolidate at a level or go down, right? I myself think it's going to go down tomorrow, unfortunately. The reason why I say unfortunately is because I do own BlackBerry shares. But we had a downward trend resistance line right here, touch point right here, bunch of touch points right here, touch point right here, here. Downward trend resistance line. Another one right here with 3 touch points, 1, 2, 3. Downward trend resistance line. Downward trend resistance line here as well. Touch point, touch point. Actually, sorry about that. That's not a touch point. This is a touch point. That's a touch point. That's a touch point. Below the moving averages, MACD lines in the negative too. So I'm going to state the upside first, even though I believe it's going to go to the downside. So the upward trend resistance levels that you need to break, and I'll update you guys. You guys are going to have, actually, I'm going to go through the consolidation first. Consolidation period is going to be between $11.62, $11.69 to between the $12.28, right? Because you can see this was multiple days and pretty much staying between this level. So $11.66 and $12.30 ultimately, $12.31, somewhere between here, consolidation period. So we could be here for the most part for the whole entire day tomorrow, hopefully, and then that way it'd be easier to reverse the upside. But if you think that tomorrow is going to be a positive day, you ultimately need to get back up to these support levels, and then you're banking on passing. First level is going to be the $12.50, give or take. The next level is going to be the $12.65, 68 cents. But if you guys pass those levels, I'll let you guys know. There is for the people concerned about touch points, there are more touch points that I've checked on the other side, so on and so forth. But yeah, so those are the levels that you need to pass first before you can continue more to the upside. But I think it's going to be quite difficult because you have a lot of things against you. But hopefully past 1268. If we do, I'll comment down below like always. I'll pin that comment, and whatever comments below that will be the continuous updates. The reason why I don't edit the post is so that way nobody says he edited it after the fact. So be on the lookout for the pinned comment if anything drastic happens tomorrow. I'll be commenting down below. Now, the only thing is though, we cannot break tomorrow morning. If we open lower than 1191, 1194, right? You can see the support level right here, back tested, like touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, right? A couple touch point. Oh, this one's really a touch point. 1194 is not a good level to break. We'll start heading down because if we start breaking through the 1199, 89, 87, 86, and 85, I saw a bunch of support levels on the side for those. Then we're basically headed down to the 1169 to 1140 price point. and we're gonna hopefully consolidate around there. So there was 1169, 1155 and 56 was pretty strong. I probably should show some on the side, but the one I'm going to show for the most part, and by the way, so consolidate, if it doesn't consolidate at this level, it'll consolidate between 1140 to 1169, mainly 1155, 56, but the one I'm worried about is right here. So if we break through 1104 somehow, right, if we drop below 1104 and not bounce to the upside, so we could hit 1104, or even I think it was 1103 when I checked it out on the side. If we don't bounce up from that level, we are in bad shape, because for this following reason. Let me show you. So where is it? Back in 2015, right about here. So right about this level, 1106. Where this is, by the way, this is like 2014. What is it? 2013, all the way to 2015, and you could even see it here. I probably should have drew it even further. There's a bunch of times like consolidate or back tested here, got shot down here, a couple times here, if I actually got the line correct and all that stuff, right? You see how the dashed lines meet up right here, just shoots down the stock. So there's major resistance here. We do not want to drop lower than the $11.06. But even though it's fine if we drop lower than it temporarily, but as long as we bounce up to the upside. If we do not bounce back up to the upside and dramatically start going down, even though there is support at the $11 price point, by the way, there is support at $11 price point, specifically the 1095, 1094, that's the main support. But if we get capped, basically trapped there, it's going to be a difficult time to bounce back up to the upside. But you can see a bunch of false breakouts. So it's not impossible to break this support level or resistance level, but it is quite difficult to even keep that momentum keep going. That's the issue. So hopefully we bounce up on that level. I don't think we're going to go lower than that level, 1099, 1104, so on and so forth. But if we do go lower than tomorrow, $11 tomorrow, I'll keep you guys posted. But that's the whole entire spiel, I guess, for the most part. Now, if you guys did enjoy the video, consider dropping a like. It helps out the channel. Thank you so much overall. We passed 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for that. Again, legit, I really appreciate it. If you guys do like videos in terms of stocks, finance, mortgages, credit scores, passive income, consider subscribing. Helps out the channel again. And then if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I will answer them as quick as possible. And thanks again for the awesome support. See you guys in the next video. Peace.